welcome everyone to this episode of Let's Chat MetaPWR with beautiful special guest Debourah Borg. And Deb, when I think of you, I think of colour, and I know that you love all things frequencies. You started as a colour and image consultant and became an international speaker and author, writing a sold-out book called Orange Underpants, Your Key to Emotional Success, which then led to the creation of your colour and shape awareness cards. And now you're a gold leader in doTERRA. Deb, you have such a passion for creating community and sharing this with others who align to your vision. You're now semi-retired at age 64 and loving life, doing what you love. But I would love you to take us back to before you started MetaPWR. And how was life? What was it like? Can you give us a little insight?
I guess you never realize when your body's going to betray you. And that's basically what it felt like. You have weird things happen throughout your life. Well, I did, that didn't make any sense. But because you're young and you're resilient, you just jump back on the bandwagon and keep on going. And you just go, oh, that was a strange thing, but you don't put any sort of emphasis on it. So I wasn't diagnosed with Scheuermann's disease until I hit my 60s. And that's because basically I became disabled. So then they had a reason for that, but they didn't do the research until I was disabled. So to give it a bit of a snapshot, when I was 5, I literally got out of bed one morning and fell to the floor. And what actually happens is it's to do with connective tissue, and doctors don't really understand the connective tissue side. They only go with Scheuermann's from the x-ray of the bones. And all Scheuermann's disease type people have a square part at the bottom of our spine instead of like the normal V. So that's how they say, oh, you've got Scheuermann's. And that then creates extra pressure on your discs and your bones, disintegration. And the other interesting thing with Scheuermann's is you can't absorb calcium. You're also allergic to sulfur. So I can't have dried fruits. I don't drink alcohol for the same reason. And I didn't know this except to know what was going on in my body. It weakened my body. So whenever I have a sip of alcohol, if someone tried to, sort of spike your drink kind of thing, I would immediately feel it in my body. My body would go like jelly. And that's the feeling that I have. Like you think of connective tissue, it's all about strength and connecting you. So what happens is when the Scheuermann's comes out, it's like everything disconnects. So when I fell out of bed that time, my poor mum, she was wheeling me around in the stroller with my baby brother, took me to the doctors, and the doctors didn't know what was wrong. They checked my reflexes, everything's working, right? So then they just put it down to, oh, she's just trying to get attention. So I had all these weird things happen like all through my life, but I never put a understanding to it until I hit my 60s. And that was really frightening because when I lost my mobility, I was rushed to hospital. Like I felt my body just collapse and I couldn't get back up again. And I literally had to have an ambulance and I had pictures on Facebook of them actually dragging me down out. Now, what is a really scary thing is when you're talking to your body saying you know how to walk, you know how to stand, and your body's not doing that. It really does your head in. You go, this is serious. Like, this is weird. Why is this happening to me? So I was really scared. I was marked as disabled. I even have my little disabled sticker. I feel like a fraud now because I don't feel disabled, but that's thanks to MetaPWR. And so that I got back out of hospital. This was just before COVID, and I had to basically shrink my lifestyle. And it's interesting how we had that thing on menopause too, because I'm actually post-menopausal. But a lot of those symptoms like vertigo and pains and all that stuff that Vanessa was talking about, we don't know what it is. I mean, just lump it all into, oh, it must be part of this disease that I've just got. But it's actually a bunch of things. And what the beauty of MetaPWR is, it actually addresses everything. So it's not just if you've got Scheuermann's, this is going to work for you. It's like if you've got anything, menopause, any aches and pains in your body, blood sugar stuff. Literally, it does turn the clock back. I came back because I get no warning, and that's why I have a disabled sticker. The doctors won't let me drive. because they do not know when my body's going to switch off. That's just the reality of it. I feel fine. That I've been on MetaPWR for a year now. I didn't drink my MetaPWR with water originally because I was paralyzed for another 2 weeks. I was living in my pajamas for 2 weeks. I was in an immense amount of pain. I was desperate to try anything. So when the MetaPWR came in July, within 24 hours of taking that one satchel, I took when it arrived, and I took it when I got up in the morning, and I literally had no pain in my body, and I got out of bed. And that blew my mind. That was literally, but I couldn't drink it at that stage. I was only eating it like a sherbet. And I do fluctuate between that. So a lot of my clients might say to me, oh, I don't like taking it in water. It tastes awful. I go, eat it like a sherbet. And they go, oh, can you do that? I went, well, I did, and it worked for me. So, you know, your saliva is also water, you know, and you're supposed to have it all at once. So for me, the proof is that it works on me. So why wouldn't it work on you? So give it a go. If you feel you can't drink it, eat it. So that's what I tell people to do.
You are such a testament to it. First day, you noticed a difference in pain. Can you tell us what are the differences you noticed on the MetaPWR?
Okay. When my body crashed again, the doctors all told me that I wasn't going to walk again. They said to me, prepare myself. I was not going to walk, and I may have to get in carers and things like that. It was really a scary time. And, you know, I just knew that my oils, and I take my lifelong vitality pack all the time, and I take all the doTERRA nutrients I take. And I know that I'm healthy, because here's the interesting thing. When I was in hospital and they did my blood test and everything, I am healthy as. It's just I've got these structural issues because of what I was born with, which I can't change. That's in my DNA. So this is my food. This literally has changed my life. The lifelong vitality pack really made a big difference. And all the DDR prime, because that's for structure and brain. And then you've got like your turmeric for inflammation, and then you've got your ice blue for pain. So I had all of it. And of course, now the PB Assist for the probiotics, which they recommend to take with the MetaPWR. So I do all of that. So when clients say to me, oh, but you had a really good response straight away, you know, we're not. And I go, I don't have any drugs in my system. So think of it this way. It's how long have you had this illness? And look at it, and it's basically a month of MetaPWR for 1 year of your illness. If you can look at it from that perspective, because it's taken me 12 months to actually walk a straight line. Because when I first started MetaPWR, I still was very unsteady on my feet. I still needed my walk up, but at least I could get out of bed. So it's not like I just leaped out of bed and I was normal and everything was cool and cool. No, it's a process. You know, it's gradual, but it was life-changing for me from a pain perspective, because when I was basically, when your body crashes and your body doesn't support you, it's painful. It's really painful. And so every time I moved in my bed, I was in immense amount of pain. So when I took that first satchel of MetaPWR, I slept through the night, and that was amazing. Then when I woke up in the morning, normally I had to turn myself on my side, leverage my leg over the side and everything else, and had to will myself so I could go to the toilet. So I literally had to hold on to things in immense amount of pain, couldn't even sit on the toilet because that was just too painful. And I had no support system. So I was kind of somehow supporting myself as much as I could, and then just got straight back to bed. And that's why I lived in my pajamas for 2 weeks. But once I was on the MetaPWR, everything started to change. It was like no pain, was able to at least be able to hold on to things with no pain. I still had to hold on to things. So like I said, it's not like, bang, you're cured. It's fantastic. It's not. It's gradual. And it's little things that you start to notice. Like for me, the first thing was the connective tissue, my balance, vertigo. I had vertigo, and I'm not sure if that was connected to the menopause, you know, being post-menopause. Now that I've been listening to what Vanessa said about menopause, there was a lot of symptoms there that were at the same time. Because look, you know, when I when I first really got diagnosed with this 2, 3 years ago, I was in my 60s. 62, I was completely grey. And I've shown you the photos of that. I'm completely grey. Everything in my body was grey. My eyebrows, my eyelashes, everything. Now with MetaPWR, my hair has started to darken. Now, I'm not saying it's all dark, but a lot of other parts of my body are. Just say that. My eyelashes have started to grow because I used to have false eyelashes. And so, they all fell out and my eyelashes were gone. So they've started to grow and they've come back, not gray, black. My eyebrows have darkened. And now I've got and if you see other photos of me like 2022, my hair had thinned so much that I was going bald in spots. It was embarrassing. Truly, it's a horrible, horrible experience when you get to this stage. But this is all new growth. That's why it's all this. I don't have a fringe. And you'll see it's all different lengths, and it's like literally, and when you see the other little tufts underneath, they're dark. They're not gray. And that you can prove that's not a fringe, right? That's growth. And it just keeps getting thicker and thicker. Like the other thing I noticed with gray hair is it's like wiry and very untamable, and you can't even get a comb through it sometimes. But now I can still comb my hair. My hair is thick again. It's shiny, like that's the other thing. It goes dull and lustrous, kind of thing. And the other interesting thing I noticed is my skin. Like as Vanessa was saying about the bags under your eyes. Now, I naturally have an inclination to have bags under my eyes, but since I've been using that, and I've got like I've only got my, normal foundation and stuff on, but I've got nothing like as a concealer or anything like that. And I can see that my puffiness in here has gone. My face has gotten more slimlined, like that since I've lost 5 kilos, actually. Well, let's say reshape my body, 5 kilos. I was 73 and now I'm 68. So, it's like pretty cool. And it's the toning of the body. Like you go flabby, you just go flabby. And all of a sudden you just start to see everything sort of suck up. And it's like my massage lady who said to me, "What are you doing, Deb?" And I went, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "Your body's different." I went, "What do you mean my body's different?" And she goes, "You've been working out or something." I said, "No, I haven't." And she goes, "No, you must have." I said, "How is it different?" She goes, "It's harder. I have to work harder. It's not so soft anymore." I went, "Oh, really?" Oh, she goes, "Look, it was flabby." I said, "Oh, thanks a lot, Sandra." But that's what happened. And literally now everything's starting to suck up. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen to everyone like that because MetaPWR affects everybody differently. You got to remember, I've got no drugs in my system. I never take anything other than the nutrients of doTERRA. And I've been with doTERRA for 9 years. So my whole body is basically toxic free. I don't have like diffusers are going left, right, and center in the house. I use my Itovi to get my tonic, and I use my essential oils all the time to address my health and my wellness. So, I'm going to be probably the exception to the rule of how fast MetaPWR works compared to others. And that's just the way it is because of the way my body is too, and the pristineness that I've got it in. Because really it was only the Scheuermanns that was my issue.
Thanks for explaining that, Deb, because I think a lot of time we do compare ourselves and think, oh, why is it MetaPWR working so well for someone and it's not doing that for me? So you've explained it beautifully there with the 1 month on MetaPWR equaling a year in the situation that maybe you're trying to balance. Also want to say it must be a boost to your self-esteem and confidence with your hair regrowing, in that beautiful color and texture. And also you've mentioned to me your skin and nails are better, and all of this must contribute to feeling better about yourself.
I never had nails, Anna, literally because no calcium in the body, right? So the nails just didn't stay. But now they're really strong, like really strong. And I've never had nails like this. Like it's just been phenomenal that way. So, and energy, like I've always been a energized kind of person, and I can rise to the occasion. But this is a kind of different energy. This is like, It's not an excitement energy. It's alive. I feel alive in my body again. I want to move. Like, I don't want to just sit and do nothing all day. I want to do stuff. I want to get back into life. I want to be in life. Whereas before, you don't realize it. You start to do this isolation, it's fine. I'll just smell the roses, be the rose. You do all this sort of stuff, right? But now it's like, no, I really want to get in there and, mix it up with the roses.
So are people around you noticing this too, Debourah? Are
Oh,
they commenting?
massively,
Yeah.
massively. Like, I just had another lady who's been watching my progress, and I go to regular meetings, and she's noticed that I keep getting younger and younger and younger. And it's interesting. That is what, when people haven't seen me for a while, they all go, wow, what have you done? Have you done something? Like, your face, you look young, you look vital. And I went, well, thanks. How was I before? No, no, no. You always know, but I know what they're saying, because there's a youth, a vigor, a feeling of lightness inside the body that feels. I do not feel 60 anymore. I don't feel like I'm in my mid 60s. I feel like I'm probably early 50s, late 40s, because that's how I'm feeling right now. It's hard to put into words until you feel it yourself. But I know for a fact, when I give out samples of the MetaPWR, because I have these beautiful little things that doTERRA have actually, done, and you put a little MetaPWR satchel in there. These are great. And as soon as I give people even just one of these, I don't even do three, because, MetaPWR's not cheap. So I do three, I do one. And every time I do that, they buy the whole system. You know why? Because immediately they feel the energy surge. You, at the very least, you will feel more energy, more clarity in your mind, and your body feels different, and you cannot deny that. And that is why, again, I got another enrollment today just on them observing my journey.
Oh, it's just powerful. And it's so good to be able to tell someone, well, this is actually what it is. And this increase of energy, better mental clarity, all of these things you're touching on, Deb, they're things that we all want. So it's
Yeah.
just wonderful that you're sharing that. Could we talk about your sleep? How MetaPWR is a smart supplementation to the other pillars of health. So relationships, sleep, how you're eating, how you're moving. Do you want to touch a bit on that?
Now, here's what's really interesting for me. I have the worst diet in the world. Truly, I do. I was on a survivor program, and it did screw with my whole, stomach. So I only graze throughout the day, and you will die in respects that I only exist on iced coffee with my nutrients. That's my breakfast. Iced coffee and MetaPWR's breakfast with my nutrients of doTERRA. And then I might graze on some bacon. So I've got some protein in, and some gherkins and some cheese. And then if I go out with friends and things like that, then I'll have something different, whatever's going on at the time. But at home, that tends to be my staple, because I'm always busy, active, doing stuff that I'm always kind of grazing. But I will say this much: when I first started MetaPWR, I didn't have the reshaping of my body like I have since I did the MetaPWR challenge, and I started adding the MetaPWR oil to the MetaPWR. So when I put it in the water, I do have it in water now. So, I still have Sherbies when I'm on the run, or I'm just running out of time or whatever, because I'm not a really big water drinker. So I still have my Sherbies, or if I do double dose. There are days when you feel like you need a bit more energy, a bit more oomph, or you might be fighting a virus or whatever. I mean, I've never had COVID, I've been around COVID, never had it, never been jabbed. But see, as I said, my system is pure. And so these things work very quickly in my body because of that. So just remember that when you've had illnesses and things like that, it's a process. It's going to take time. Your body has to recalibrate. It has the ability to heal itself if you just get out of the way. Just allow the space for the body to do whatever it needs to do. So you might start MetaPWR to go, oh, I've got acne or whatever in my skin, or dark spots, because that's another thing. All my dark spots or freckles or pigmentation has all faded. So literally my skin is going back to youthful purity. It's just a phenomenal thing to witness when you look at photos of yourself, like when you're in your 40s and 50s, and how dark the pigmentation was then. And I look at my face now and I go, that's not there anymore. Like that's not there. Like, where's it gone? And little things like moles and things that were on you. Like I had this was like a mole or a little wart. I don't even know what it was, but it's gone. Like it's there's just a little remnant of it there, but there's nothing there. And the only thing that I've done that's different is MetaPower. So I don't know what's going on in my body. I just know it works. And the other thing I found with the reshaping of the body is these tablets. When I first started taking these tablets, they kind of upset my stomach a little bit. So what I do now is I take it at night. So when I take it at night, it doesn't seem to upset my tummy for the day. Whatever's going on happens at night. And then I just have a really good bowel movement the next morning, and it's fantastic. And I believe the oil and the tablets are the things that really help shrink those fat balloons.
Good point. So with the assist tablets that you're talking about there, are you taking them with food or after the
If I
meal?
have a really big carbohydrate rich meal, because I don't, gherkin, cheese, and bacon is not really carbohydrate rich. So I take it at night when I do that. But if I go out with friends and have pizza and whatever else, I'll take my MetaPower with that. I was taking it half an hour before if I could remember, but half the time you don't know that you're going to eat that stuff. So I have my tablets with me and I take it with the meal. And if I'm out and I don't have my tablets and it was just a spontaneous thing, I take it immediately as I come home.
So it's in your system.
But I make sure I take at least one a day. And if I haven't had any carbohydrates through the day, I will take them at night. And the other thing I recommend, and if you've got people that are vegetarians and they just have that thing about, it's not veggie, yarrow pom is the substitute. It's again, we know it's actually vegetarian collagen. So is lavender, by the way. Lavender and yarrow pom, vegetarian collagens. I use this on my face all the time. This is yarrow pom serum. That is all I use on my face every day. And I take these capsules every day. So that's my beauty routine. This is my cleanser. This is my moisturizer and my treatment.
We're getting all the tips. Debourah, can we go back to the collagen sachets? When do you take them? Do you take them morning or night?
Both. So sometimes I'll take it in the morning if I feel like I need that energy kick. Like today, interesting enough, I was like an ever ready bunny without my MetaPower. So I thought, oh, I'll just keep on going, keep on going. And so I just took it before I came on here. And I took it like a Sherbie this time because I was, didn't have time to have it in the water. So I just ate it like a little Sherbie again. But it's like it builds up on you too. You must have at least one a day. But like I say, I also double dose at times. Like if I'm feeling a little bit run down or, I've been doing a lot, I'll take it in the morning. That gives me the energy, the ever-ready battery to keep on going. But if I've already like an ever-ready battery in the morning when I've woken up and everything's fine, I don't feel right taking the MetaPower then because I don't really need it then. So I'll wait tonight because then it will make me sleep. It's really weird. Give you energy in the morning, but make you sleep at night. Like, how does that work? I don't know, but that's MetaPower.
Brilliant. It's bringing the balance. Debourah, it's just been amazing listening to you. And I know that you're helping a lot of people as well with their own MetaPower journeys. What was it that helped you make it into a daily habit? Do you have some tips in regards to that?
I think for me, it was like I never want to feel like I felt before. It's nearly like it's an addiction. It's an addiction. And it's literally like if I've gone through the day and I haven't had my MetaPower and I just go, I must have my MetaPower. I've got to find somewhere. I'm going to sneak that in. And that's when I'll have it as a Sherbie. So I'll make sure I do not miss out. But if I'm feeling like when I wake up in the morning, I'm a bit sluggish or whatever, I'll go have my MetaPower and then bang, I'm on. It's like within milliseconds. It's like literally after you've drank it, you feel like, okay, I'm back. It's the weirdest thing. But until you experience it, you don't get it. And because it's got a 30-day money back guarantee and it's TGA approved, which means what have you got to lose to give it a go? And that's what I say to my clients. What have you got to lose except whatever's going on in your body right now that you want to lose?
Perfect. You just answered my next question. I was going to ask, what advice do you give to a new person? It sounds like you're spot on there with helping them to see it's a risk-free step to take.
Absolutely. And I'll start them with the MetaPWR and the Lifelong Vitality Pack if they can afford the 230. But if not, I'll always say, this is the king and this is the queen. Okay. So start here if you must first, but eventually you will add this into the thing because this is your macronutrients and your micronutrients, and you need both. It's the yin and yang of health.
Yeah. It's a great way of explaining it. Well, you've had a lot of nods from our live audience. I just open it up to anyone who wants to ask Debourah any questions, because, you know, joining on live, you've got that opportunity. You're welcome to unmute or pop it in the chat. There on Facebook, if anyone wants to type any questions, I can also ask Deb. Was there anything that's come to anyone's mind this week, or hearing Deb's story makes you pick up on a question or comment you'd like to share?
Debourah.
Hey, Serena.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good,
Hey,
thanks, darling.
That's good. I just want to know, with MS, would MetaPWR be good for that?
Do you know what? I don't diagnose anybody, but I say MetaPWR, you've got to give it a go and see what it does for you. But we had a lady on just the other day that had MS, and she spoke volumes about MetaPWR. So I would say yes, MetaPWR will definitely make a big, big difference. MetaPWR will make a difference with anything that's going on in anyone's body. We don't know what it's, well, I'm not, I love science and everything else, and I'm not a doctor, and I tell people straight away, I haven't got really a clue how this works. I just know it does. And all you can do is give it a go and see how it feels in your body. And when I say to people, they need to at least give it 3 months, at least 3. I know we've got 30-day money back guarantee, but give it 3 months to give the body a chance to recalibrate, particularly if you're on drugs. And the other thing I tell them to do is stop taking any vitamins and minerals of another company. This is where I talk about recipe. Recipe is vital. A lot of people are overdosing on vitamins and minerals, and they don't even realize that they're doing that. And then they try to take something else because they're trying to self-diagnose themselves. So I say, look, give yourself a break. Just put that on the back burner while you're trying the MetaPWR. Let your body recalibrate for 3 months. Just let that stuff go, and then make a choice what you want to do next.
Thanks.
What about their depression tablets? They probably need that.
Oh, no, proper medication they're supposed to stay on. I'm talking about, you know, the other vitamins. Your Q10 and your you know, your B vitamins and your, you know, your bone vitamins and all that sort of stuff. But it's all stuff that is not doTERRA. doTERRA are specific with recipe. Every nutrient and every supplement that doTERRA puts together complement any doTERRA product. So if you stick to a brand only for that nutritional supplementation, you're going to have a better result than if you try and mix different brands and things, because you don't know what the recipes are. It's like putting 6 dozen eggs in a cake and hoping that the cake works out. Like you overdosed on an ingredient or several ingredients, or you put so much flour that the cake is, you know, ridiculous. So again, recipe, very, very important. Does that help?
Deb. Yep.
Thank you. And we've got a question from Diane. How long did it take for you to notice your new hair growth? And
12 months. 12 months was the hair growth. I mean, I got the eyelashes and everything probably within 6 months. I started noticing everything else going darker within 6 months. But the actual growing back of my hair, that's probably happened in the last 12 months. So, it's probably been growing a bit more than that, you know, but it's like I'm noticing it then. I noticing that there was darker patches in my hair, but not enough for me to go fully dark again. So, because you've got to remember too, as you age, you lose pigmentation, you fade. So the grey hair suits people because you're fading. So everything is fading. But when you're actually getting back your youth, grey doesn't work for you anymore. It's actually very aging on you. So you know that because when you actually go back to your dark hair and it doesn't look like you're old, there's a difference. So
those of us who have been on it nearly 12 months will be checking in the mirror. How's
yeah,
the
and check down there too.
Thanks, Steph.
That's where I first noticed it. It was literally, it's like you do not know what your body's going to do. That's the thing. It's like it depends on the person. What is your weakness in your body, and what does your body need to work as its priority? I mean, hair is like a reflection of your health. So, you know, you got to understand that's going to be a process. That's not going to happen straight away. And it's not going to be like for everybody straight away, because that's actually telling you you're healthy. So 12 months on MetaPWR and all of Lifelong and all doTERRA nutrients. Basically now my eyes are shiny, bright, sparkly, and my skin's glowing. Everybody's got the MetaPWR glow. It's like everybody knows that when you're on MetaPWR, there's this light that's around you, and it's not tangible. It's just there, and it's like, oh, you're on MetaPWR, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Debourah, you certainly are shining the MetaPWR glow. Thank you so much for tonight. Thank you to everyone who's been watching and, you know, being inspired by you, Deb. Keep sharing your message. It's powerful, transformative. And yeah, we all want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.